most people in the ECMO world know about Esperanza. She's a little girl who was the first neonatal ECMO success. And this was in 1975, so it's a long time ago. We had been working on what we call ECMO in the laboratory for 10 years before that, and tried it on some other patients without success. The first success was actually in 1971, and then the next in 1972, a cardiac case. But we had not considered it for newborn infants. This was a beautiful full-term baby in our hospital who had profound lung failure. And the neonatologist said, "You guys are working on that machine. Do you think it would work for a newborn?" So we don't know, but we're glad to try it. So we did, and it worked finally. And based on that one case, then we did another, then other people learned about it and they came and learned how to do it. So for the next 10 years, most of ECMO was in newborn infant cases. And that continues to this day. There are a lot of newborn babies that wind up on ECMO. Her name is Esperanza, which means hope in Spanish. This was in California. Most of our patients were Spanish. And her mother delivered this baby. She was told this baby's certainly going to die. She's in the country illegally from Mexico. So she disappeared. And so the baby had no name, so it was just baby girl. So the nurses named her Esperanza, meaning hope. So it was. So we've stayed with it. So I presented this case several times, and eventually we kept up with her. So she would come at the age of 15 or 21 or 32 to the ELSO meetings. So everybody knows her over time, and the case has been published here and there. So most people know, in the ECMO world, they know about Esperanza. That's sort of where it all started. Well, we started a group called ELSO about 32 years ago. And ELSO, among other things, maintained a registry of cases, beginning at the very beginning when there were only 100 cases, and now there are 150,000 cases in the registry. But keeping that registry has been very valuable because it documents the progress of this technology. Even in one big hospital, you can't tell if you're getting worse year to year, different kinds of patients. But once you have hundreds of patients treated in sort of the same way, then you can see what the results are across the board. So the registry has been very, very helpful. It also does other things too, education and publication. About 12 years ago, we started EuroELSO. It's a branch of the big ELSO, and eventually Southwest Asia ELSO, Southwest America ELSO. So it's really grown all around the world. But this is EuroELSO, and it's been running, as I say, for about 12 years now, and you can see how successful it is. 1,000 patients, 1,000 people are here for this meeting, all learning about it, but all enjoying it. It's wonderful, of course, and makes me feel very, very good about it. People say, could you believe that we went from a few patients in the very early days to all of this that happens now? And the answer is yes, of course we did, because this is a system that will keep people alive when their heart and lungs don't work at all, for a few days, maybe a few weeks, and then maybe will get better, and they often do. So if it works for one baby, it's going to work for another baby, it's going to work for a heart patient, it's going to work for an adult, and so it just keeps growing, but it's the same concept. What to do when ventilators and other things have failed. Well, the conference is wonderful, mostly because we've not done this for 2 years, and for the first time we're all seeing each other, and everyone in this group are such good friends. It's like a big family. So it's really exciting to see everyone in person, face to face again. Well, ECMO will continue to do what we're doing now. That is, children and adults with heart and lung failure that would be fatal if not for a few more days. So that application will still be there. What's growing is to do those kinds of patients, but much earlier in the course of disease. Most of the time with respiratory patients, for example, we try everything else. We run the ventilator because the best ECMO patients are the patients who never go on ECMO. You'd like to avoid it, but we keep them on the ventilator. We try what we can. When we get to the point where we know there's little chance of survival, then they go on ECMO. What's happening in the future is now we're moving back. So when we get to maybe 50% chance of dying, they go on ECMO. That's twice as many patients, but they do twice as well. Things like that.